welcome to the stream. So, what I've so far, well, today we are going to do a new suspension. We have two options. Okay, one option was developed by me, one by Christian. I prefer, well, difficult to say what I prefer. We need to build Christian's version first because it's simpler. Then if that version is not performing the way we want, we can build mine. I'll show you both. So first, mine. Mine is this here. Yeah, I'm not, but it is what it is. I mean, none of this is perfect, obviously, but it's the best we have. The problem are wheel hubs, which suck. Okay, but this version here, in both cases, we tried to have the pivot points as close to the wheel center as possible in order to, make things easier. Here I tried to position the lower ball joint half a stud closer to the center of the wheel than it would usually be. Everything is perfectly fine, everything is solid, but it's pretty bulky. The advantage of this is that we have all of the steering angles that are possible. The disadvantage is that the axis here is, it's kind of here. We're very on the edge of the wheel, basically. It's like it's like this. You see, we are very on the very edge of the wheel here. And this thing here is half a stud closer even. So if we mount this here, so this here, the clearance is not a problem. We have all the clearance in the world. And this here is slightly better. Slightly better. So let's say it's half a stud better. The disadvantage to this is the poor steering angles, potentially, because we have, it's already, it's limited by this, and I think this is very limited, very limited. But we'll use it. I mean, this is gonna be different, I guess, because we can put in here, we can put another piece. Let me see if I can find it. Should have it, because we used it before. Come on. Ah, here it is. Just a second. Come on. No, wait, this is not it. Yeah, but this isn't. No, it's crap. I don't think this is. I don't think this is the right piece. Come on, focus. No, definitely not. That's not the right piece. I don't know. I think I had it, but I cannot find it. But anyway, I don't want to use that piece. I mean, we need to use something like this in some capacity. I don't know. It's not ideally positioned, but that's not important right now. So right now we are gonna build a very simple dummy of this for this, so that we can test the steering angles. If the steering angles are too poor, we have to abandon this and we gonna have to use this. You know, let's see. Let us see. I should have somewhere. I know, but I cannot find it. I have not used it anywhere. And I put it back in the parts bin, so I don't know why it's not there. Maybe up. Oh, maybe it's here. Moment. Yeah, it's here. Obviously, yeah. This one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Problem is that you can put it in too far, and now I cannot get it out. Great. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. So that's problematic. Slightly problematic. Okay. The problem is that yes, for my purposes, I can push it in as far as I want. But how are you going to say this in instructions? How far you can put it in? You know, because it has to have clearance. It has to have clearance for this, and it needs to be at a certain length out so that we can do this. And the problem is, if you fuck up the length and it's not equal on each side, you have a different toe. So we are not going to use this solution because it cannot be reproduced by the average person. That's the problem here. And because it cannot be reproduced, sadly it is unusable. And with this here, I already see so many problems. But we're gonna try it. So, first thing that I see is that we are gonna get very poor suspension angles. Very poor suspension travel because of this. That is gonna limit our suspension travel a lot. Yeah, it's overused, but you know very well that we cannot use it. So I'm gonna do a setup here without any springs or anything. We just want this to, be here so we can test the steering angles. Yeah, well, I have to think about these things. You have to think about these things while you are working on it. So 5 on top, 6 on the bottom. Now we do a lift arm here to connect them. And we can test. Yeah, so ideally it would be like this. So this is our hub from the side. Well, ideally. No, it has to be one step further in. One step further in. Okay. What is the frame? A frame. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be good. Okay, for demonstration purposes, this is gonna be fine. No. I miscalculated. Okay. I think that's right. Okay. So this here, and we have caster. It's nice. So we would have full drop would be this, right height would be this, but we don't get any suspension because we are already hitting this, which is very unfortunate. If this part here was not there, I would so love this, but we're not over. So let's see. Steering angles. Steering angles. Don't look bad, to be honest. Don't look bad, actually. I was afraid they would be bad, but the steering angles actually are not horrible. So if we look at this, so this is turning out, very good steering angle, and turning in, that's not good. That's not good. Should be back. Should be bigger. It hits this part here, of course. But you know, this is good. This is very good. Unfortunately, this is not. So I have to reject this setup. Sadly, it's very so minimal, and we have the axis here, but no, sadly not. Sadly not. Sadly, we have to use the bulkier version. This one has, let's compare them. So we have, yeah, but the caster is not really, so the ball joints are spaced the same. Okay, let's try this for the benefit of doubt. Let's try this with less caster. Let's try this with less caster. So I'm having half a stud less. Okay. Okay, so now we have less caster. Now it's only half a stud difference between top and bottom. But still, the steering angles are not good. Steering angles are better, I guess, but still not good. Still not good. Plus, let's see. So this is right height. Maybe full drop. So full. Let's say full drop. Right height. And then, we don't have a lot of suspend control. Plus, this here is very bothersome. Very bothersome. Plus the setup of the steering. I mean, that's not such a problem, but still it's not in a good position. It would be okay if it was here, but as I said, we cannot trust people to insert this at a certain length, and even I wouldn't. No, I cannot mount the upper control mount higher, because if I do, we don't have the camber gain, which we want. So you see, here we have the perfect camber gain, like this. It drops, it's leaning a bit to the outside on the top, neutral here, yeah, and when we go up, it goes in a little. So perfect camber gain. If I move this up, we lose this. So no, I can't. Yeah, so sadly, we need to use this. I mean, one advantage of this is, just switch these two. One advantage of this is, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. If we could cut this off, so this part, this black bit that's overhanging, if we could cut this off, would be perfect. but we can't. There is one possibility here. I don't particularly like it, but there is one possibility to save this. So you know the CADA piece. CADA has a pin that has a ball socket, and the pin with the ball socket could be pinned in here, and that would allow us to move a lift arm that would be here one step further up with the same angle. That would be possible. Yeah, that would be absolutely possible. And then this would not clash anymore. Okay, that is absolutely possible. Not sure how this would. So if this was one step further up, would it change anything? I think it would. I think this upper part would be further out. I think it would. Basically, it would, you know, we would have a pin in here. We would have a pin in here, and yeah, it actually would move the upper ball joint further out. Yeah, sadly not. Sadly not. You know what the biggest problem here was? Why we used this in first place? The biggest problem here, it's a problem that we absolutely cannot build in a car. The problem here is that if we put this in, you know what happens? This happens. This happens constantly. We had this, but this was constantly going out. This was constantly slipping out, and we cannot have this in a model. This is extremely unreliable. You know, we have to balance things out here. So I don't know. So let's build now a test suspension for this year and see how it compares. Hey, Maxi. So this is 6. We need 7. We need 7. So right now I'm not thinking about springs at all. Springs are not important right now. So for a fair comparison, we want the camber, the caster to be this. Yeah. So it's the same as before. We are half a stat offset. Okay. We are half a stat offset, and it's leaning a little bit to the outside. So this should be right height, basically, when the bottom is horizontal and the top is like that. If we straighten this out, it's gonna make it only worse. If we put it down, it's gonna be worse again. So yeah, we need to do something here. So obviously we don't have good suspension travel here either, because these are at an angle that's too extreme. So we need to change this angle here. Okay. What about the steering angles themselves? Unlimited, basically. That's okay. But obviously we need to work a little bit on this, because this is, I don't think that's okay. What's the suspension channel? So this is pretty direct. This is very nice. Scrub radius, not the best, but not the worst either. It doesn't need to drift, but we have the possibility to drift the car, but it's not, of course. We are gonna have, but steering angles are gonna be pretty not too bad. Since we need to keep in mind that the steering rack and the servo can only go 90 degrees. We get one stud of travel, or maybe two. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So we have like this here. If I mimic the spring with my hand, this here, then this is ground level, and then we have maybe somehow I feel that we don't have enough spring travel. So from full drop, let's say it's like this to this. What's this? That's not a lot, is it? Maybe one stud. If we look at this, for example, in relation to the frame, we have 1.5 studs of travel. 1.5 studs of travel. That's not a lot. And of course, we have the problem, of course, that we need half a stud somehow here. 90 degrees, about 1.5 studs is should be fine. Yeah. Yeah, 1.1.5 stats should be fine. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's a Countach, not a trophy track. I know. I know. But still, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean we do need to see how to bring this half a stud more in because it's leaning out at right height, so that's not okay. Um, I would not want to realistically change anything here. Here on the chassis. I would like the chassis to be pinned like it is. Maybe we can do something here, even though how much room do we have? Not a lot. Not a whole lot. Hmm. We cannot use a or can we? Maybe we can. Maybe we can. I was thinking about using a number five connector like that. Number five would be used if this capacity here, or number three. Number three will be used here. The problem is we cannot pin them anywhere. Neither here nor there. We have absolutely no way of preventing them from going anywhere. That is the problem here. And it is driving me mad. So we need this ball joint to be half a stud closer to the wheel. Or do we? No, no, no. What am I saying? No, we don't. We don't. Because we want the caster X. Kill me now. Kill me now, please. Of course, we don't want this to change. We want this to change. Okay. Yeah. So we need the top mount here to be half a stud closer to the body. Okay. My favorite measurement. My favorite measurement. Yeah, basically we're gonna do something like this. So this would be mounted on the frame, and then we would have it like this. Yeah. No. Okay. So that would be it, or so we think. I still hate this. I still hate this. This is not enough. Not enough. Not enough articulation for my taste. But I guess once the angle here is different, so when we pull it in by half a stud, the angle will change a little bit and it's gonna be fine. Yeah. Okay. So let's replicate this. Let's make another version. And then we can judge the width. I have another one of these somewhere. This. This is just a test, so disregard this. We're gonna build this somehow. I built this just so we can have the half a stud offset, and we want to pin it from each side, so it's removable. Okay. So this. This here. Come on. Come on. Okay, we have this here. So top mount is going to be like this for now, and the bottom mounts. Okay. So how do we make the bottom mounts? We want to pin them, and we want some springs to be added onto them. Obviously, since we're doing this here and the springs are gonna be further inwards, we're gonna use the harder springs, which I hate. I absolutely hate them, but that's what we're gonna use, I guess. This is not going to be a good mount if we want to pin them on each side. But yeah, if I make them 5 studs, then we have the other problem. Oh. Hate this. I really hate this. So I wanted you to use these here and then these, but that's not okay because then we have done nothing. We want this to be, well, one of them has to be half a stud offset. It's easier to put a bottom one since the top one is gonna be this here and it's gonna be, you know, between these here. So I think the bottom one is easier to make the half a stud offset. But how do we do that? Since we want them to be pinnable. I could use the T-piece, but I have a problem with the T-piece. You know, I could use it like that. The obvious problem is that we are probably gonna have something here, and this is gonna interfere with it. I mean, try it. Maybe we won't have anything there. But we probably will. But you never know. You never know. Yeah, this is gonna be good enough. Sadly, I cannot color coordinate this because I don't have all of the parts in dark bluish gray. Oh, who the fuck? No. No, someone decides to write me on Facebook. Wow. Okay. This is gonna be a problem, but okay. How far apart does this need to be? Axle holes and bars. What? Axle holes? What's with the axle? No. No. Axle holes are never okay for mounting. Axle holes are never okay. We want this to not have slack. If we don't want slack, we don't want axle holes and pinholes. So let me judge approximately what the distance here needs to be. Yeah, okay. So we are here. So the distance between is this. Could use the 1x for lift arms. No, I don't want to use the bars. It's too much friction with bars. Way too much friction. That's not okay. Okay. So I know the distance here. So I know that distance, but we also know where the center of the wheel has to be. So the center of the wheel has to be where this blue pin is. So obviously we're gonna remove all of this. What do you mean current hub? There is no current hub. All of them are in flux. We don't have a current hub at the moment. Maybe this is gonna be the bit, but we'll see. So, yeah. So we need the center of the wheel to be here. So obviously, we need the center of the wheel to be here, and for that, we need this to be like that. And guess what's interfering? Yeah. Okay. The hub attached to the Lambo is an old version anyway, so that's garbage. Everything is wrong with it. So we are not using that. Yeah. So before we jump to conclusions, let's first see how far off the steering is at all. So let's see. So if this is here, and this is here. Yeah, this will probably work, but we need this garbage here needs to be this needs to be a 6, different one. We need basically this here. Yeah, it should be this, but this is horribly ugly, so we cannot use this. So let's see if we can design something like this. The problem is this here. Spring mount again, of course. So in this case, the spring mount is 3, 4. Yeah, it's in the middle. I don't want it in the middle. I want it one step further here. If I use this here, then I need to add these. How do I mount the springs if I do this? That's the question. let's say that we are gonna use these. I don't know if one per side or two per side. I think two per side. Two per side are gonna be enough. Yeah. Because obviously they're gonna be further inwards than we are used to. But we need to have them one stud closer to the wheel here. This is in the middle, this is not okay. So we want them to be here. Like that. It's gonna be perfectly fine. Yeah. Yeah. We can do this here. We can do this here. Like that. And then let me just open the window. It's a sauna in here. Holy fucking shit. It's so hot. And then basically this here. And then use this here. So I know it's not terribly different from this here, but we have this here one stud closer to the wheel, and it's at least aesthetically slightly more pleasing. So yeah, still don't like it, but what can I do? What can I do? I would prefer it to be different. Very much so. You know, I would prefer this to look like this. But I can't. The only way I could do this is if I made this like that, and then we would make the attachment points for these removable. This is an option. Yeah. This is an option. This is an option. Yeah. So we would do the following. Something like that. Then we would do the hinges here, and the hinges themselves would be unpinnable. So we would still be able to remove or add these separately, but we would have the pins here, so these would be removable. That's the idea. But while we're doing this, we can do this here to make our lives slightly easier. So if we are doing this, let's make it at least a 5 stud affair, so that when we use the the alternating holes lift arm, that we can actually do this. Yeah. And then, you know, we can do the springs, you know, either like this here or like this here. So depending on where the room is, we can pin them on either side. Yeah. That's probably the best that we can do, I think. If anybody has a different idea, please share it. Let me just mute that channel. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's make our one for the other side. Obviously, we don't know if this is gonna give us any problems down the line, but you know, we have to try it. Try it and see what's gonna happen. Whoa! Just. Wow. Okay. It was nothing. Something fell, but all is good. Nothing broke. It's getting windy here because it was so hot today that I think a storm is brewing, and it's probably gonna rain tonight. Yeah. So, and I had all the windows open, so the wind gusts, you know, blew through and did its thing. Okay, how are we going to handle this? Yeah, we can probably handle this like that. Oh, you already have a storm. Yeah, then this storm that you have there is coming to us. It's coming here, definitely. I mean, it was really so humid today. Disgusting, really. Okay, so no, let's just pretend that this is something that we can work with. So we would attach this here. We would attach this. No, here. One foot further out. Yeah. Um, okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean that's global warming for you. So we would have our A-arm mounted like this ish. We could also turn this around to have the longer part in the front, maybe, but doesn't bring us any favors. So yeah, I mean I can hear the wind gusting outside. So yeah. What are we going to do here? Is this gonna be a problem? Maybe. Let's eliminate this problem. So what we can do here is very simple. We can move this here to the other side. Like that. Here. So maybe. Problem is that the springs are now half a stud offset. If we mount the springs like here, here, they're offset on the body. Of course, that's the problem. Here, only one of them would be offset. Okay. Let's pretend this is not an issue at the moment, and we are gonna deal with it later. Okay. So, this. Maybe. Cause we'll see. Yeah. That's not gonna go well. Okay, we need to redesign this a little bit. Wow, it's fucking stormy outside. I'm gonna close the window. The wind is gusting. Holy shit. I mean, this is clearly global warming. I don't remember the wind ever being so strong as in the past years. A storm is coming and it's blowing like crazy because the wind has so much more energy. Okay. Yeah, we cannot have this here because this part here is gonna interfere with literally everything. Okay, So we need to redesign the A-arm slightly. It's just too damn high. Fuck. Holy shit. Yeah. Man, I mean, those gusts. Holy fuck. This is gonna do some serious damage on site. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Of course, what we're gonna do. Of course. I mean, of course. Um, we still need that offset, right? We still need an offset. Um, okay. Very good. And now the springs here can be mounted like that. Let's see what this means. What does this mean? Obviously, this cannot be like this. Even if we would use this here, this would mean what? Yeah, no. Yeah. I knew this would be a problem. Now we have a problem that this cannot be in the middle here. And we have nowhere to mount the springs. That's why I hate this. That's why I hate this so much. But this spring here and or the other spring, they need to be half a stud further this way. No. Maybe that's for the best. No, I don't want this. Yeah, now the problem is mounting these. Because now I would need an axle here. These are, I don't know, different. Kind of different. I don't know. And we have the classic problem that I never wanted. This here. Okay, so that's obviously not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen. But this springs are a big issue here. Where and how to mount them. Cannot be here because it's interfering with the steering. Could be and should be here. But then we have a problem with this because it wouldn't go through the springs. Yeah, because we have it. You know, we have it like this. This is kind of the setup, and where to mount the springs to go on I don't know, on either side of this or whatever. Yeah. And that's why I hate these. That's why I hate these. That's why this would be much better. Because it can be mounted higher up. What would solve the problem here would be if we made some kind of push rod. If we make a push rod that would go from here to the chassis, and then it would, you know, have a simple push rod with, I don't know, 2 of these, and we wouldn't have to deal with the springs here because they are really in the way. They are really in the way, and the push rod could be actually, you know, even closer to the wheel, which would mean that we could use softer springs. It would not interfere with this, you know. We could use a push rod. Yeah. Why not? A good push rod is not that bad, and we could use, since the setup allows it, we could, you know, if we have this A arm here, we could use the push rod on this side, ish, like that, and sorry, like here, and we could have the springs basically under the dashboard, so they could be horizontal here under the dashboard, not in the front here. They could be here. Why not? What do you say, Ben? You don't like it, right? Or they could be here. They could be here in the middle, above the steering box. I mean, right now I would like to smash this into the wall, literally. But you know, I'm trying to keep calm. Because nothing is really going the way I would like. Holy fuck! It's really storming outside. Yeah. So with this in mind, we are going to postpone this till tomorrow, because I'm gonna turn off the computer and hope that it survives till tomorrow, I guess. And I need to think about this, because fuck me. Yeah, but it would make more complicated. Not really, but problem is, where would you put the springs? There's like literally the A arm, the top A arm is in the way. The only possible solution would be if we, you know, if we use the CADA top mount, and literally made an A arm that would go around the springs. That would be a solution. So our problem is that the A arm goes straight. If we made the top mount from the CADA pin, yeah, of course we do. Of course we do. So if we made this a CADA pin, which I can manufacture till tomorrow because the CADA parts still are not here, we could use the lift arm. Yeah, we could make the lift arm that goes around the springs, and then we won't have that problem. So then we can use the then we can use the spring mounts here any way we want. So yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do. Very good. Then it's settled. I'm gonna make the mount till tomorrow, or two, of course, so that we have one for each side. I'm probably gonna butcher. I'm gonna butcher. I'm gonna butcher these here because I don't really have a use for them. I'm gonna basically cut this off, sand this down, and glue this to a pin. It's gonna be fine. You know, I'm gonna cut the. Come on, focus. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the black pin off, and then glue the black pin, the other half on the bottom of this. And until the color parts arrive, it's gonna be good enough, I guess. And then we'll see. Yeah. So, yeah. With this in mind, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I hope the computer survives till tomorrow. But yeah, should.